Airline pricing looks random. That's the game. They want you to think the numbers just magically appear based on moon phases or fairy dust or whatever excuse makes you stop asking questions. But if 2026 has taught us anything, it's that airline prices are not random at all. They follow patterns, predictable ones. And once you understand those patterns, you realize you've been booking flights on the absolute worst days of the week without even knowing it. Today, we're breaking down the 7 specific days when flight prices quietly spike, guaranteeing you'll pay more for the exact same seat you could have booked cheaper on a smarter day. Welcome to Passport Pointers, the travel channel that breaks down the hidden rules of flying with humor, honesty, and absolutely no fluff. Today, we're exposing the 7 worst days to book a flight in 2026, the days when airlines quietly raise prices hoping you won't notice. Master these patterns and you'll stop overpaying, dodge the traps, and book like someone who actually understands how the system works behind the scenes. The first day you should never book a flight on is Sunday. Sunday is the airline's favorite day to take advantage of people who tried to relax on Saturday and now feel guilty about not being productive. Sunday is the day when regular travelers sit down, crack open a laptop, and start searching for flights they spent the whole week procrastinating. And airlines know exactly what you're doing. They raise prices because they know you're in a buying mood, your weekend is almost over, and you want to get the travel planning off your to-do list. Sunday shoppers are impatient shoppers, and impatient shoppers get punished by higher fares. If you've ever searched on Sunday and thought, wow, flights seem expensive today, that's because they are, on purpose. And the crazy part is how predictable this behavior is. Airlines have years of data showing that Sunday flight searches spike between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. when people start mentally switching from weekend mode back into real-life anxiety mode. That's when the, let me finally book this trip panic sets in. The algorithms watch this pattern happen every single week, and they respond by lifting prices across the board. It's not even subtle. In some cases, flights jump 15 to 20% higher because the system knows a huge wave of casual, emotional shoppers are logged in at the same time, and those shoppers almost never wait for a cheaper day. They want convenience, not savings, and airlines have monetized that impatience better than anyone. If you avoid booking on Sunday, you dodge one of the easiest traps in the entire travel industry. The second day to avoid is Friday. Not because Fridays are inherently evil, but because business travelers unknowingly ruin it for the rest of us. Friday is the corporate booking rush. Executives, managers, sales teams, all finalizing next week's travel. And because companies pay for these tickets, they're not exactly bargain hunting. Airlines see that demand spike and think, great, time to raise prices on everybody. By Friday afternoon, even routes that were moderately priced earlier in the week suddenly cost more. The system reads increased activity and interprets it as rising demand. It doesn't matter that the people causing the spike are using company credit cards. Everyone gets hit with the same inflated fares. But what makes Friday even worse is how business travel triggers cascading price adjustments. Corporate travelers often book last-minute flights, meaning the algorithm suddenly shifts into its urgent booking mode, where it assumes everyone searching during that window also urgently needs a seat, and urgent flyers always pay more. To make matters worse, Fridays are also when companies approve budgets, making ticket purchases even more frequent. And the airlines track this. They know that traffic reliably rises every single Friday because that's when companies wrap up their work weeks and send employees on the road. So even if you're just casually checking flights for a vacation 6 months away, you're walking into a storm created entirely by business travelers who don't care what a ticket costs. Avoid Friday bookings and you avoid riding the corporate price wave. The third terrible day to book is Monday morning. Monday mornings are already painful enough, but searching for flights at the start of the work week is like walking into an airline's trap with a flashing sign over your head that says, "Charge me more." Monday morning is when airlines assume you're stressed, rushed, or dealing with something urgent. Someone booking early on a Monday has energy that screams, "I don't have time for this." And airlines absolutely love that energy. Prices start high and usually stay high until midday. If you've ever looked up a flight early Monday and felt personally insulted by the price, that wasn't your imagination. That was strategy. Monday morning pricing is built on the assumption that you're booking out of necessity, not desire, and necessity is expensive. And the pricing algorithms are ruthless about this. They track when you last searched, how many times you looked up the same route, how quickly you return to check prices, and even what time of day you shop. If you consistently search early on Mondays, the system interprets that as urgency and increases fares accordingly. It's a psychological trap disguised as convenience. Monday afternoons and evenings are almost always cheaper because the urgent morning surge fades and the system relaxes. But morning is an airline's favorite time to squeeze your wallet. The fourth day you should avoid is the day after any major holiday. It doesn't matter if it's Thanksgiving, New Year's Day, Memorial Day, or the 4th of July. The day after a holiday is when millions of travelers suddenly remember they have real-life responsibilities, which triggers a nationwide panic flight shopping session. Flights for vacations, weddings, work trips, everything. And airlines see that traffic surge and immediately adjust prices upward. Even flights months away get caught in this mess. The day after a holiday is one giant overpriced window of opportunity for airlines, and they absolutely use it. What makes this day even more dangerous for your wallet is the emotional factor. People come out of holiday mode feeling hopeful, energetic, inspired, or guilty about not planning sooner. That emotional swing turns them into perfect targets for overpriced fares. The system sees huge spikes in travel searches and automatically increases prices to match the frenzy. It's not unusual for fares to jump $20, $30, or even $50 higher in a single afternoon just because the country collectively remembered it had things to do. If you avoid booking the day after a holiday, you avoid getting caught in a pricing hurricane created entirely by post-celebration chaos. The fifth overpriced day is the last Saturday of every month. This one is sneaky because most travelers have no idea it exists. But airlines study spending behavior, and the data says this. People get paid at the end of the month, and many of them start planning trips right after that paycheck lands. So the last Saturday becomes a high traffic booking day. More traffic means higher demand. Higher demand means higher fares. What started as a casual afternoon of trip planning becomes the moment you accidentally paid 20% more because the system knows you're financially recharged and feeling optimistic. And this pattern is shockingly consistent. Airlines track not just spending habits, but browsing habits. They see that people are far more likely to spend money after payday, especially on Saturdays when they have time to sit, think, and dream about vacations. And dreaming leads to buying. Whether you're booking a trip for summer or a holiday flight 5 months away, the last Saturday of the month is a price trap wrapped in a day off. If you avoid this window, you'll sidestep one of the easiest ways to waste money. The sixth day you should never book a flight on is the day an airline launches a public sale. This sounds completely backwards because you are trained to believe the words sale mean cheaper prices. But here's the trick. The moment a sale goes live, everyone rushes to the website. The sudden flood of traffic tricks the pricing algorithm into thinking demand is exploding. So prices climb not only for sale routes, but for almost everything else as well. In reality, the cheapest time to book during a sale is actually the day before the sale goes public, when the airline quietly lowers prices to prepare for the event. Once the sale banner drops, the prices you see are often inflated by the crowd, not discounted. And here's the part no one ever talks about. Most airline sales are designed to make you panic purchase. The low advertised fare applies to a tiny handful of seats that often disappear within minutes. Once those few seats are gone, the rush of shoppers keeps prices elevated even though the actual deal is long over. And while everyone else is frantically clicking, thinking they're getting a bargain, the algorithm is lifting fares across multiple destinations. Avoid booking on sale day and you avoid paying more for the illusion of a discount. The seventh day you should avoid isn't an actual day on the calendar. It's the day you get emotionally attached to your trip. This happens to almost everyone. You look up a destination a few times. You check prices in the morning. You check again at night. The algorithm sees your repeated behavior and decides you're committed. It assumes you're mentally already in the hotel robe sipping orange juice on a balcony somewhere. And once the system believes you're locked in, it raises the price. Not because demand increased, not because the plane is filling up, but because the system detected that you are likely to buy soon. And emotionally invested shoppers are the easiest ones to upcharge. And emotional search behavior is incredibly easy for the system to track. It monitors how long you stay on a page, how often you revisit a route, how quickly you return after closing the browser, and whether you compare prices or click straight through to the booking screen. When you act like someone who's already mentally on vacation, the system treats you like someone who will pay anything to make it happen. Detach your emotions from your search behavior and you instantly save money. Before we continue, if you're enjoying these insights, hit that subscribe button. It helps support the channel and guarantees you won't miss the next set of travel strategies the airlines hope you never learn. We post weekly videos designed to help you fly smarter, cheaper, and with zero stress. Now that you know the 7 days to avoid, let's talk about what this actually means for your travel planning. Because once you remove these overpriced days, you end up with a set of booking windows where prices consistently dip. Tuesday evenings, Wednesday mornings, and Thursday afternoons have become the sweet spots in 2026. These are the times when airlines adjust their forecasting models and quietly loosen up fare prices to trigger sales. You'll find better deals, more flexible seat options, and lower fares simply by planning your booking around these patterns. Airline pricing isn't random, it's predictable. And predictable means you can beat it. When you know the patterns, you stop getting trapped by inflated fares. You stop feeling like the airline is calling all the shots, and you start booking flights at the right time instead of the expensive time. Avoid the overpriced days, shop on the cheaper ones, and you'll travel for less than 70% of passengers booking without a strategy. Thanks for watching Passport Pointers, and I'll see you in the next video.